I don't even, let's see. It's like I feel like they want me to put this on for other people who have these type of gifts. And you can call it all types of things, right? Like spiritual awakening. It doesn't matter, whatever label. I know a big thing that was very confusing for me most of my life is the stuff I would hear and see. And again, it's like, well, how do they want me to utilize that information? Right, so I just did in a previous one where they had shown me something and I was able to translate. I could see, I could understand what they were showing me, but it was like, that can't possibly be the message, that literal message, because that literal message is scary as fuck. And it's just wacky. And it was like, yeah, no, it wasn't meant to be literal. We were trying to get your attention. And they were teaching me about energies and calling it in a form of like not associating it with the person as much as the demon, energy, entity, feeling, emotion, weight, lie, tie, whatever you want to call it, that was sitting on a person. And how I had recognized it, because I'll recognize the different energies in different people. And again, or you could say the different emotions, right, or the different whatever. But you usually can see through their surface to see what's happening. And but due to this, and because sometimes they'll show me that way, right, it's just me alone here, and then they'll show me stuff, and it can be scary and creepy. And a lot of times it'll be with people I know or experience I've had. But again, it's so that I can figure out the coding, I suppose, right? Like the relation or the energy or the feeling or whatever it is. I have to figure that out. And so I can cut through to see the clear message. And it's like, if you don't love yourself, that can really scare you and drive you batty, right? Like if I didn't love myself and know that I'm fully sane, and I mean, then and had these things, I could easily say I'm insane, right? Like you could easily get yourself topsy-turvy. There's more around this, and I just don't know how to verbalize it. Oh man, like it can be scary or upsetting because you'll see these things and they'll show you people you know, but it also is confusing, like, well, what do you want me to do about it? Right? Because we've learned, unless they ask for help and are willing to have open, honest conversations, and other times it's just say a bigger picture, and then I'll hear about it in the news 6 months later, a year later, 2 years later. And that too is disturbing, right? It's like, it's just not widely talked about, right? It's not talked about in this way. And the ones that are talked about this way, they seem woo-woo. They seem fake. They seem like they're full of shit. They seem like they're telling some alien story and making it like they're the ones who are probably saying it more literal and getting freaked out and then freaking everybody else out, like I've done before too, but like I just explained, where they're not able to truly decode the message. And due to that, they're scaring themselves and scaring everybody else and causing a big fucking ruckus. And that's not even what was being said. Right? Sounds like us humans to human conversation, doesn't it? We're not communicating, and we're even speaking the same language and have the availability and the option to communicate further and get more curious and discuss it more. And we don't. We just jump to conclusions. It's like you either have people who have a title or a label that people are comfortable with, like a forecaster, a stockbroker, a therapist, whatever it is. It's a label, a doctor, that people are more comfortable with that label, but they're just doing more or less the same thing. And then you have people that title themselves like psychics or I don't know, but the ones I've seen, they do act nutso, right? It's like they play party to the label, and it's almost like contribute to its bad name by playing up a stereotype that isn't even a good representation, because they actually might be a little crazy, right? Like they're not getting it. It reminds me of, I used to say to I had a chiropractor that was so fantastic. It was very, very in tune with his patients. So he was not giving you the quick 7. You weren't going in and getting the same cracks and just sent on your way and here's the bill. It was really attuned, and it was always different. Sometimes no adjustment. I mean, really, he cared for his patients. They were his patients. Like he wasn't, he was definitely not there about the money at all. He well undercharged always. And I said to him, I feel like you should be labeled something else, because most people don't expect this service from this name chiropractor. Like this isn't what's equated, and that's not what's out there. The majority, they're doing this machine, doing that machine, doing, the normal, we're the latest, greatest, same old sales pitch bullshit, and doing the same old cracks and the same old whatever, but just a more organic spin on it. But the heart is the same as every other salesman out there. And he's like, no, but this is what chiropractic care is. Why should I have to change my name? I thought, that's a very good point. Yet, unfortunately, it's not the way the world works, is it? It's like once people have an idea, a stereotype of how, it's our rule book, how certain labels are to perform, that's what we expect from them. And when they don't perform the way we expect them to, we get upset, or we're confused, or we say they're wrong, or they're right, a doctor's a quack if they don't, it's like we start to label them all types of things when they don't perform the way we'd like them to perform according to the label. And according to that label, here's my rule book on how you're to perform. And it's these labels, I think, that it's like they can hurt us and help us. So how are you utilizing them? To quantify, to know who to go to, but then you still have to judge and decide. And are they right for you? Are you a good fit? Are you a match? Are they meeting your expectations of what that label means to you? And I know a lot of people that don't they don't like to use any advanced medicine, and I know other people who will only use advanced medicine. And it's that absolute, right? We tend to, once we have enough bad experiences in one way, or a strong held belief in one way, that's what it is across the board. And we have a real hard time letting our guard back down. Oh, we've tried that. We have tried that enough. No. I have deemed that unacceptable. And we just don't have that flexibility. But it's due to pain, right? We had bad experience after bad experience after bad experience. So now, no longer, right? Like, I don't ever want to take antibiotics. I was so disappointed I had to take them after over 20 years of not taking them. And it, wipes out your gut flora. And it's like, oh, fantastic. I guess I'll start that all over again, right? It's like, oh boy. And I remember that really upsetting me. It was less than 10 years ago. And, but I also understood that it was necessary because I think it was around the time I had some surgeries. And so it was, it's like it wasn't worth the risk. The risk did not outweigh, or the risk did outweigh, so it was like, gotta do it. But I'm flexible like that. Like, I'm reasonable, right? You need to be reasonable. It's one thing for us to stand, in our convictions, stand in our beliefs, as long as they're still serving us. But in that instant, if, based on the current circumstances, if I chose not to take that antibiotic, it could have very easily spread to an actual problem. My body was already low because of surgeries. I was already immune. I was already susceptible. I was already weak. And so if I was like, oh, no, it would have been like, okay, well, who you hurting? Like, is it worth that risk? And so it's like, well, you have to remove that belief. You have to make that exception. You need to be more flexible. Maybe you need to rearrange your belief, right? Like the idea of, Christ, you're already having surgery, right? Like, it's this idea of, we do all have our wonky exceptions, or our way, or what is and isn't right for us based on why it feels good and what we're doing it for. And these are just questions we need to ask ourselves. This is why it's like, I have no idea what's right or wrong for you. I know what's right or wrong for me, but I'm not in your feeling body. You have to determine that. It's interesting. I was just going to say, because they just showed me something, and I was like, oh, I guess I can see sometimes when you're lying to yourself. But even then, it's not even necessarily true. In other words, you could be flipped upside down, where you have normalized pain. So you don't necessarily react to pain because you've normalized it, you've tolerated it, you've accepted it. But when you receive pleasure, what's good for you, what you would like, you have an adverse reaction because you're not used to that. So it's like when I was flooded with unconditional love more in the beginning, it was such an unusual feeling. I would be bawling and crying, but it was out of joy and delight and out of pleasure. But it was like, I wasn't used to that, or that amount, or that hit. It overwhelms you. And, but in a good way. But if you looked at me, you would be like, oh my God, what happened? What's wrong with her? Right? And so, some of us are topsy-turvy. So somebody could look and be like, well, God, something happened. She must be lying to herself about something for her to be. And so this is the thing. It's like, we can only interpret what we think we're interpreting, see what we think we see, translate what we think. And it's usually wrong. As a matter of fact, I can guarantee you it always is, because we're human. So there's always going to be there's always going to be error. But the error is built in to benefit us so that we can be like, maybe I should ask myself. It's the idea of tap into yourself, connect directly, get your answers. Don't rely on that outside yourself. Don't depend on it. I'm going to make everything outside of yourself slightly faulty, slightly imperfect. So you're forced to love yourself, to go in, to remember, to reconnect, and stop relying externally, because externally will always disappoint you. We want it to. We want it to so that you will love you, that you will go in and depend on you and love you and reunite with you. It's like we've forgotten how to do that. It's more about the battle, or the competing, or the resisting, or the exterior validation or acceptance. It's like all this stuff we do that, again, it's just habitual, and you see it all around. So then you're swimming in it, and then you're mimicking it. It's like we can't get out of our own way. All right, I can tell I'm going to go on and on, so I'm jumping off. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.